Imagine a world where the skies weren't just for the birds, a world where, centuries before the Wright brothers, a lone genius looked up at the heavens and decided humanity should join them. That genius? Leonardo da Vinci. You probably know him as the guy who painted the Mona Lisa, that enigmatic smile staring out from history. Or maybe you've heard of the Last Supper, or his Vitruvian man sketch that's plastered on everything from T-shirts to textbooks. But what if I told you Leonardo didn't just dream of flight? What if he actually made it happen? What if, over 500 years ago, he built a machine that soared above the rolling hills of Tuscany? This isn't the history you learned in school. This is an alternative tale, a wild what-if, that blends fact, fiction, and a little bit of Renaissance magic. Welcome to the story of how Leonardo da Vinci conquered the skies and changed the world forever. Let's set the scene. It's 1485, and Leonardo is in Milan, a bustling city under the rule of Ludovico Sforza, the ambitious duke who's got big plans and even bigger enemies. Leonardo's already made a name for himself as an artist. Fresh off his apprenticeship with Verrocchio in Florence, his notebooks are overflowing with sketches, giant crossbows, armored tanks, parachutes that look like pyramids. But there's one obsession that keeps pulling him back: flight. He's spent years watching birds, sketching their wings, studying how they glide on the wind. He's convinced that humans can do it too. Most people at the time think he's crazy. Flight is for angels and demons, not mortals. But Leonardo, he's not most people. Our story begins in a dusty workshop tucked away in Milan's winding streets. Leonardo's surrounded by wooden beams, scraps of linen, and a mess of tools he's cobbled together himself. His assistants, including a young troublemaker named Salai, nicknamed Little Devil for a reason, are hauling in materials. Leonardo's been secretive lately, even more than usual. His famous mirror script fills page after page of his notebooks, but now there's something new. Detailed drawings of a strange contraption. It's got wings like a bat, a wooden frame, and a harness that looks like it's meant to hold a person. He calls it L'Uccello Grande, the great bird. And he's not just sketching it, he's building it. Here's where history takes a turn. In our timeline, Leonardo's flying machines never got off the ground, literally. His designs were brilliant but impractical, limited by the materials and technology of the 15th century. But in this alternate world, something's different. Maybe it's a stroke of luck, or maybe it's that relentless curiosity of his. Leonardo stumbles across a breakthrough. While studying the properties of lightweight woods, he finds a rare type of cedar growing in the hills near Lake Como. It's strong, flexible, and, crucially, light as a feather. Paired with tightly woven silk from Milan's thriving textile trade, he's got the perfect materials. He refines his design, adding a system of pulleys and pedals inspired by his studies of human anatomy. This isn't just a glider anymore. It's a machine that can flap its wings, powered by the strength of a single man. The first test happens under the cover of night. Leonardo's not stupid. He knows the church might call this heresy, and Ludovico's spies are everywhere. He and Salai drag the great bird to a hill overlooking the Adda River, the moon casting long shadows across the valley. Leonardo straps himself into the harness, his heart pounding. Salai's nervous, muttering about how they're going to end up in a ditch. But Leonardo's eyes are fixed on the horizon. He takes a deep breath, starts pedaling, and the wings, 15 feet across, begin to move. slowly at first, then faster. The silk catches the wind, the cedar creaks, and then, impossibly, he's off the ground. 10 feet, 20, 50. Leonardo da Vinci is flying. Word spreads fast. A shepherd spots him that night, a dark shape against the moon, and by morning, Milan's buzzing with rumors. Ludovico summons Leonardo to his court, demanding to see this miracle. Leonardo, ever the showman, agrees, but on his terms. A week later, in the courtyard of the Sforza castle, a crowd gathers. Nobles, merchants, even a few nervous priests clutching their rosaries. Leonardo climbs onto a makeshift platform, the great bird gleaming in the sunlight. He launches again, this time in broad daylight, soaring over the castle walls to gasps and cheers. Ludovico's jaw drops. The priests cross themselves. And just like that, Leonardo's not just an artist anymore, he's a legend. But this is where things get wild. Ludovico doesn't just want one flying machine. He wants an army of them. He sees the potential. Scouts that can spy on enemies from above, warriors dropping stones on fortifications, a fleet of winged soldiers to crush the French or the Venetians. Leonardo's hesitant. He's a vegetarian who frees caged birds, not a warmonger. But Ludovico's offering gold, resources, and protection from the church's wrath. So Leonardo agrees with a twist. He'll build the machines, but he'll keep the design secret locked away in his mirror script. He starts a workshop, training a select group of apprentices to construct more great birds. By 1487, Milan's skies are dotted with them, silk wings flashing in the sun, men pedaling furiously as they circle the city. The world changes fast. News of Milan's flying machines reaches Florence, Venice, even the Ottoman Empire. The Medici family, always eager to outdo their rivals, hire their own engineers to copy Leonardo's work. But without his cedar and silk combo, they can't match his success. The Ottomans send spies, desperate to steal the technology. By 1490, Europe's in an aerial arms race. Battles aren't just fought on land anymore. Skirmishes break out in the sky, with winged warriors clashing over the Alps. Leonardo's invention shifts the balance of power. Milan becomes untouchable, a city guarded by the heavens. But Leonardo's not done dreaming. In 1492, he unveils a new design, the Aquila Reale, the Royal Eagle. This one's bigger, with a double-wing system and a lightweight rudder for steering. He tests it himself, flying from Milan to Florence in a single day, a journey that would have taken weeks by horse. The sight of him landing in the Piazza della Signoria, wings folding behind him, sends the city into a frenzy. Botticelli's there, sketching furiously. Michelangelo, just a teenager, stares in awe. The Renaissance, already a golden age of art and ideas, becomes something more, an age of flight. The ripple effects are staggering. Trade routes shift as merchants use flying machines to scout new paths, avoiding bandits and storms. Explorers take to the skies, mapping uncharted lands from above. Christopher Columbus in this timeline doesn't just sail to the Americas, he flies there, spotting land from 1,000 feet up. The age of exploration kicks off a century early, with Europe's empires racing to claim the world from the air. Science leaps forward, too. Leonardo's notebooks, now partially published to explain his machines, inspire a new generation of thinkers. Galileo's born into a world where flight's already a fact, pushing him to study gravity and motion decades ahead of schedule. Of course, not everyone's thrilled. The Church declares Leonardo's machines unnatural, but their protests fizzle as kings and popes start commissioning their own fleets. By 1500, Rome's got a squadron of papal flyers, their wings painted with golden crosses. Warfare's darker now. Cities burn from aerial bombardments, and spies drop from the sky like hawks. Leonardo wrestles with this. He writes in his notebooks, "I gave man wings to touch the stars, not to rain fire on his brothers." But he can't stop what he started. His invention's too big, too powerful. By the time Leonardo dies in 1519, in this alternate world, he's not just an artist or inventor, he's the father of a new era. His flying machines have redrawn maps, toppled kingdoms, and lifted humanity into the clouds. The Mona Lisa still gets painted, but it's a footnote to his real legacy, the man who taught us to fly. As he takes his last breath in France, King Francis I looks out at a sky filled with wings and whispers, he changed everything. So, what if Leonardo da Vinci had invented a flying machine centuries early? In this tale, he didn't just dream of the impossible, he made it real. The Renaissance becomes a time of soaring ambition, and the world we know today, cars, planes, skyscrapers, arrives a lot sooner. Maybe we'd be on Mars by now, all because one man looked at a bird and thought, why not us? That's the magic of Leonardo. A mind so curious, so bold, it could rewrite history. What do you think? Could he have pulled it off? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this wild ride, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories that twist the past into something new. Until next time, keep looking up, because who knows what's possible.